to discuss philosophy of education. So, sino po dito ang may background kay philosophy of education? Meron kayong background? Wala? Wala. Okay, sige po. Alright po. So, this afternoon, we are going to discuss the philosophy of education. I know this part sa LET exam is part siya ng ano po, Prof. Ed. At madugo po yun nun, madugo po ang philosophy of education. But do not worry, we will explain the philosophy of education in easy way. Okay, para hindi po tayo mahirapan at hindi kayo mahirapan mag-intindi, i-explain natin to in a simple way or in a simple manner. Alright, now before we proceed, let's first ask, what is the meaning of philosophy? So we have here on the screen, philosophy. The meaning of philosophy is love. Philo means love. So, yan yung Sophie. Sophia po yan siya. It means wisdom. So philosophy means love of wisdom. Okay po ba tayo dito? What is philosophy mean again?
Of wisdom.
Okay. It is the love of wisdom. Philo means love and Sophia means wisdom. Now, what is philosophy and education? So, for this, all teachers, including you guys as a future educator, all teachers have a personal philosophy that colors the way they teach. So, as I said over and over again, that every teacher has its own unique style and techniques in teaching. So, that is the inclusion of the philosophy of education. Whether you apply the extensionism, essentialism, perennialism, or whatever it is. So, philosophy of education in every teacher or all teachers applies it in order to colors the way they teach or the way we teach. All right. So, it of course, philosophy of education is engaging in philosophy helps clarify what they do or what we do or intend to do, justify or explain why they do what what they do in a logical or systematic manner. Okay. So we have here 7 philosophies of education. Kindly read the 7, please. 7 philosophy of education, please. Thank you. Lahat po kayo, go.
Essentialism, perennialism, progressivism, existentialism, behaviorism, constructivism.
Naging magulo. At naging magulo. Parang sa kanta pa yung iba nauuna, yung iba nauhuli. Okay, we have the 7 philosophies of education. The first one is essentialism. The second one is perennialism. The third one is progressivism. Fourth is social reconstructionism. Then fifth is existentialism. Sixth is behaviorism. And the last one is constructivism. But before we proceed to the discussion regarding on the 7 philosophies of education, we are now down to muna sa let's see first the world philosophy. On your left side, ladies and gentlemen, we have the world philosophies. We have 4. Nakikita niyo po yung 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that is idealism, realism, pragmatism, and extensionism. Now we have here on the right side is a educational philosophies. So by combining the idealism and realism, we have on the green one side, we have the product of essentialism. Very good. So by walang combination si realism, pumunta siya sa educational philosophy, naging perennialism siya. Okay po ba tayo dito? Nasusundan po ako.
Yes, ma'am.
Opo,
Again,
ma'am.
ulitin na.
Yes po,
Ulitin
ma'am.
natin. Idealism and the combination of realism is equals to, very good,
Essentialism.
Yes po.
essentialism. Now, we have the realism equals to educational philosophy, naging perennialism po siya. We have the pragmatism, that is progressivism. Wala po siyang combination. Okay? Then pagdating naman po kay pragmatism plus existentialism, combination silang dalawa, naging reconstructionism. Okay?
Yes po,
Nagigets?
ma'am.
Yes po.
Yes,
Yes
ma'am.
po, ma'am.
At another naman po, by the combination ulit po ni pragmatism at ni existentialism, pumasok si constructionism. So bakit may reconstructionism at constructionism? Okay, we will find out po. So bakit ma'am, pareho lang naman silang combination, si pragmatism at saka si ano ma'am? Nakikita ko nga si pragmatism at existentialism, pareho lang ang combination ni reconstructionism at constructionism. Pinagkaiba lang yan, may RE itong una, yung ni blue. Nakikita, napapansin, may RE ang blue. But in order to understand the educational philosophy, now first, bago tayo mag-proceed sa ating video, may video itong presentation ha. Eto class, may video presentation po ito. Bago tayo mag-proceed, what do we mean by idealism first? Who can read po?
Ma'am Butchan po.
Butchan, go.
Idealism is the metaphysical view that associates reality to ideas in the mind rather than to material objects. It lays emphasis on the mental or spiritual components of experience and I renounces the motion of material existence.
Okay. When we talk about idealism, it is the mental and spiritual components of experience. For an instance, si teacher, magpaano tayo ng pangalan? Si teacher Lori Bell ay nagturo ng Christian living. Okay, religion yan, di ba? Christian living. Di ba meron yan sa, ano, sa private school? May mga, lalo-lalo na sa Catholic school, kahit Muslim, may Musliman dyan, walang taka sa subject na yan, di ba? So, saan doon papasok si idealism? It's because of the spiritual components na experience. Teacher Lori Bell teaches Christian living sa grade 11. So ano ang saan siya nabilong na philosophy? Idealism. It's because of the spiritual components of experience. Okay po ba tayo doon? Basta as long as may God, as long as may value, as long as merong kinalaman sa belief natin regarding on religion, idealism po kagad ang isasagot natin sa ating exam. Nagkakaintindihan po ba?
Yes
Yes,
po.
ma'am.
Okay, next. We have the realism. So, who can read?
To ano po?
Wanda, go.
Study logic, critical thinking, and the scientific method to each student to perceive and understand reality.
Alright. When we talk about realism, it is all about the critical thinking skills ng mga bata. As you can see, logic, diba? They have to study logic. They have to study in a critical thinking way. And of course, they will apply scientific method. Okay po ba tayo doon? Pag meron ng mga critical thinking na pinag-uusapan para maintindihan nila yung reality ng mga bata, it is realism. Okay po ba tayo doon?
Yes po,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, we have the third one is pragmatism. Who can give an example? Who can read?
Halig na lang.
Ostares, go.
Pragmatism is an educational philosophy that says that education should be about life and growth.
All right, pragmatism is an educational philosophy that says educational should be about life and growth. So, meaning to say, pragmatism is all about ano po kaya? Ano po kaya?
Life and growth.
Go ahead, Hondonero. Go ahead.
Growth po, ma'am. Development po natin sa life, about life.
Okay, so very good po. So it is the development in regards to life. So it is the core idea of pragmatism, believes in the guides to actions and should be judged according to outcome rather than abstract principle. Alright, so the example of this po is addressing problems logically and practically. Okay, practical. Parang hindi siya imagination or hindi siya imposibleng gawin. If mag-solve ka ng problem, yung tipong hindi sa komplikadong paraan, so napapasok po doon si pragmatism. Okay po ba din ba tayo doon?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
And of course, pragmatism is learning by doing. Okay? Learning by doing. Do not worry, matatakal ito sa video natin. May video presentation din naman ako. Legit itong video natin ha. Okay, next. Last one. Existentialism. Who can read?
Vocabulary po
Go ahead.
is a teaching and learning philosophy that focuses on the student's freedom and agency to choose their future.
Okay, very good. Existentialism is the student freedom. They have on this idea of philosophy or this theory of philosophy, it believes that every student is individual regarding in education. And of course, that certain learners must cater to individual differences. So therefore, this theory, existentialism, is the unique qualities and potential to cultivate every learner's na mga skills. Okay, for an instance, si Pedro tinatanong mo, anong gusto mong maging? Doktor po. So may malaya silang pagpipilian. Kung magaling ba naman si Pedro sa science or sa anatomy, why not, 'di ba? Napipiliin niya yung pagiging doktor. So papasok po dito si existentialism. It is to focus on the students' freedom to choose regarding on their future. Okay po ba tayo doon?
Yes,
Yes po,
Yes,
ma'am.
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 Naintindihan po?
Yes po.
Yes
Okay.
po, ma'am.
Now, before we proceed po sa philosophy of education, we will watch a video together. Okay, we will watch a video together, and after watching the videos together, class, meron tayong 5 questions na situational na mag-a-identify kung whether siya ay perennialism, existentialism, or whatsoever. Okay? Ay, bakit psychology ito? Okay po ba tayo doon?
Opo, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Nunood ako nito kagabi.
Stop ko muna ang present.
Stop ko muna ang
Grammarly
presenting
does
ha.
more than catch errors.
Kasi
With
iprepresent
Grammarly,
natin
you
siya
can find
sa
really good, no,
YouTube
perfect words
para
that
marinig.
make your writing sharp, or explicit, or excellent, or distinctive.
Have you fully understand what these philosophies mean? In this video, you will know better the known philosophies that influence the teaching profession. As an education student, you have been acquainted with various philosophies.
Essentialism, perennialism, progressivism, existentialism, behaviorism, constructivism, reconstructionism.
But, have you fully understand what these philosophies mean? In this video, you will know better the known philosophies that influence the teaching profession. What does philosophy mean? The word philosophy comes from two Greek words, philo and sophos. Philo means love. Sophos means wisdom. Literally then, philosophy means love of wisdom. The philosophy of education examines the goals, forms, methods, and meaning of education. It is important to understand how philosophy and education are interrelated. In order to become the most effective teacher you can be, you must understand your own beliefs, while at the same time empathizing with others. Let's start to learn more about the known philosophies of education. Essentialism, perennialism, progressivism, existentialism, behaviorism, constructivism, and reconstructionism. First on the list, essentialism. Essentialism advocates training the mind with what are essential. In this philosophical school of thought, the aim is to instill students with the essentials of academic knowledge, enacting a back-to-basics approach.
Essentialism. Literal.
The
Essential.
emphasis of education is on academic content for students to learn the basic skills or the fundamental R's such as reading, writing, arithmetic and right conduct. Essentialist teachers emphasize mastery of subject matter. They are expected to be intellectual and moral models of their students. They observe core requirements and longer academic year. Next philosophy is perennialism. Perennialism in education is the belief that schools should teach ideas that are everlasting. You can remember the word perennialism by remembering that perennial means lasting for many years. The goal of a perennialist education is to teach students to think rationally and develop minds that can think critically. The perennialist curriculum is a universal one. What the perennialist teachers teach are lifted from classic and great books. The perennialist classrooms are teacher-centered. Students engaged in Socratic dialogue, or mutual inquiry sessions to develop an understanding of history's most timeless concepts. Next philosophy is progressivism. Progressivism is the idea that education comes from the experience of the child. Progressivist aims to develop learners into becoming enlightened and intelligent citizens. Progressivists use a curriculum that responds to students' needs and that relates to their personal lives and experience. Teachers teach students things that are practical for life and encourage them to grow into better people. They also teach students the skills to cope with change. Progressivist teachers employ experiential methods. They believe that one learns by doing. Another known philosophy of education is existentialism. Existentialism in education focuses on the individual's freedom to choose their own purpose in life. The main concern of existentialists is to help students understand and appreciate themselves as unique individuals who accept complete responsibility for their thoughts, feelings, and actions. In existentialist curriculum, students are given a wide variety of options from which to choose. Humanities are given tremendous emphasis. Existentialist methods focus on the individual. Learning is self-paced and self-directed. Next is the behaviorism philosophy. Behaviorism focuses on the acquisition of new behavior based on environmental conditions. Behaviorists are concerned with the modification and shaping of students' behavior by providing for a favorable environment, since they believe that we are a product of our environment. Behaviorist teachers teach students to respond favorably to various stimuli in the environment. Teachers arrange environmental conditions so that students can make the responses to stimuli. They provide reinforcement and punishment to reinforce positive responses and weaken or eliminate negative ones. Another known philosophy of education is constructivism. Constructivism says that people construct their own understanding and knowledge of the world through experiencing things and reflecting on those experiences. Constructivist aims to develop intrinsically motivated and independent learners equipped with learning skills for them to be able to construct knowledge and make meaning of them. Students are taught how to learn. They are taught learning processes and skills. The constructivist teacher provides students with data or experiences that allow them hypothesize, predict, manipulate, pose questions, research and invent. The last philosophy that we will tackle in this video is Reconstructionism. Reconstructionism or critical theory is a philosophy that emphasizes the addressing of social questions in a quest to create a better society and worldwide democracy. Reconstructionist educators focus on a curriculum that highlights social reform as the aim of education. For Reconstructionists, curriculum focuses on students taking social action in solving real problems such as environmental problems, hunger, international terrorism, inflation, and inequality. Reconstructionists deals with social issues through inquiry, dialogue, and multiple perspectives. Community-based learning and bringing the world into the classroom are also utilized. Here are the known philosophies of education with their keywords. Essentialism, learning the essential like the 3 R's. Perennialism, utilizing the great books. Progressivism, learning by doing. Existentialism, having individual choice. Behaviorism, modifying behavior. Constructivism, constructing meaning. Reconstructionism, having social reform. Do you have questions about these philosophies? Comment them below. Subscribe, like, and hit the
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
did you
did you
understand the
understand the
presentation
presentation
well?
well?
Yes or
Yes or
no?
no?
Na ano
Na ano
ba?
ba?
Na-explain ng
Na-explain ng
maayos
maayos
para sa
para sa
inyo?
inyo?
Yes po. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So,
here
here
are the
are the
list
list
of
of
philosophies of
philosophies of
education
education
using their
using their
keywords.
keywords.
Keywords lang
Keywords
yung
lang yung
tipong
tipong
matatandaan
matatandaan
natin
natin
kagad,
kagad,
no?
no?
So we
So
have
we
here,
have here,
isa-isahin pa rin
isa-isahin pa rin
natin,
natin,
even though
even though
sabihin
sabihin
natin
natin
na naiintindihan ko yung video, ma'am, you don't need to specify or
why
to
or
expound,
expound,
to expedite
expedite
those
those
meanings.
meanings.
Pero
Pero
isa-isahin pa
isa-isahin
rin
pa rin
natin
natin
kasi
kasi
I
I
know
know
some of
some of
you
you
hindi
hindi
naiintindihan ng
naiintindihan ng
3
3
R's
R's
regarding
regarding
essentialism.
essentialism.
Tama ako,
Tama ako,
mali.
mali.
Tama po.
Tama.
Tama.
Okay,
Okay, nagulat tayo dun sa dulo,
no?
no?
So,
So, sabi sa video, sabi nung nagsasalita, here are the philosophies of education with the keywords. Sabi niya, essentialism, learning the essential 3 R's. So, nagulat din ako nung first time kong napanood ito. Actually, hindi ko na to pangalawa or pangatlo. Pang 10 beses na po itong napapanood kasi tinitira ko talaga si Prof. Ed. Okay? Kung pagbibigyan ng pagkakataon makapag-let exam, tinitira ko po si Prof. Ed. So I have here the essentialism, 3 R's daw. Ano ang meaning ng 3 R's? Is it reduce, reuse, and recycle?
Daw po.
Di po.
Susuntukin kita, philosophy of education nga ito, may tipid. Mag-ayos ka dyan.
Hindi nga ito
Hindi
science.
science.
Nag-o-audit
Si Yana, si yung isang teacher dito, sabi ko, suntukin kita. Sabi ko, so hindi po, 3R ito. Hindi po ito si reuse, reduce, and recycle. What is the meaning of 3R? It is reading. First R is reading. Second R is writing. And the third R is arithmetic. So when we talk about kasi perennialism, essentialism from the word itself, essential. Exit ko muna ha. Hindi ko kasi inano kasi may question kasi siyang kasunod. Baka kasi maulaan ninyo kagad. Lalalala. Okay, pare. Hindi nyo na makikita. Gawin na naman natin blackboard. Okay. So essentialism. From the word itself kasi, sa essentialism, it means essential. Okay? When we talk about essential, basic, alright? So yun yung kailangan. In education, diba, bago tayo we proceed to a critical thinking, before we proceed a hypothesis, before we proceed in significance of the study, of course, we have to know what is the basic in education. And that is the three R, the reading, the writing, and the arithmetic. Kaya siya naging essentialism, it is because kailangan turuan ang mga basic na foundation in regards to education. So, paano niya makukuha ang critical thinking kung sa basic pa lang ay lagapak na tayo? Tama ako o mali?
Tama po, ma'am.
So,
Tama po.
forget essential, nilagyan lang ng ism para maging philosophy, siya po ang naging basic. So, for an instance, right?
Sa situation, Ma'am Hondonero teach the ABCD sa mga kinder na mga bata. So, what philosophy of education applies? A. Essentialism. B. Extensionism. C. Progressivism. So, ano kaya? Si Ma'am Hondonero daw tuturo ng ABC or the alphabets sa kinder. Anong na-apply daw doon ng philosophy of education? Essentialism because alphabets is the basic foundation of education. Pwede siyang papasok kay reading at pwede siyang papasok kay writing. Okay po ba tayo doon?
Yes po.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, perfect. How about mag-counting? Pasok din siya kay reading, writing, and arithmetic. So, the basic foundation of education. Kung sa math po, siya po ang sum, or the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Pero sa essentialism kasi is general. General siya, diba? Diba? Sa primary education, we
know how to read, how to write, and
know how to read, how to write, and how to solve a simple problem. Okay po ba tayo doon?
Yes po, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Naiintindihan po lalo sa essentialism.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, now we have here next. Sino kaya ang next? Ang next po natin is the perennialism. So as you can po, ang keyword namin dito, utilizing the great books. Bakit? Bakit great books? Because perennialism, tama ba spelling ko? Sorry, perennialism is, ano po? From the word perennial, last forever. So kaya siya ginawang, ano po, ang keyword niya ay naging utilizing the great books. It is because ang books, it will last forever. Maliban na lang po kung inaanay ang libro at kinain ng anay, mawawala talaga yung information. But as long as may libro, there is knowledge. So present si perennialism doon. Hindi kagaya sa internet na pag mawala si PLDT, nga. Pag mawala si Globe, nga. Pag mawala naman si Smart, nga. Tunga si ma'am, tunga si estudyante. Books will last forever and pasok siya kay perennialism because you can scan anytime, anywhere, wherever you want na gusto mo magbasa, pwede po. Kaya siya pasok kay perennialism. The information will last forever. So, regarding naman po sa cognition, saan si perennialism?
Si
Si
what
what
to do it,
to it,
what to do
or
or how you
how
do
you
it.
do it.
How to
How
do ba
to do
yun?
ba
What
yun?
to do
To
and
do and how and
how to
how
do.
to do.
How to
How
do
to
it.
do it.
Saan po
Saan po
siya?
siya?
Kay
Kay
what to
what
do
to do
or
or
is it
is it
how
how
to
to
do it?
do it?
Saan po
Saan po
siya? If
siya?
you
If
can
you can
still
still
remember
remember
our
our
topic.
topic.
I think what to do, ma'am.
What to
What to
do?
do?
Sino dito ang
Ang nag
nagwa-what to do? Paki-chat. Chat
chat
ninyo.
ninyo.
Chat.
Chat.
Go,
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 go.
go.
Wala
Man
man nag-chat.
nag-chat.
Tulog
Tulog
yata
yata
tong
tong
iba.
iba.
Okay.
Okay.
How
How
about
about
how
how
to
to
do
do
it?
it?
Sino po
Sino
ang
po ang
magsagot?
magsagot?
Si
O si
Aldanero
Aldanero
ay
ay
what
what
to
to
do.
do.
Si
Si
Alcantara,
Alcantara,
how
how
to
to
do
do
it.
it.
So,
So
tingnan
tingnan
natin,
natin,
no? Isa-isa
isa-isa
how
how
to do
to
it.
do it.
Niagaw,
Niagaw,
how to do it. Nakapenlar,
Nakapenlar,
Butchot,
Butchot,
how
how
to
to
do
do
it.
it.
So,
So
the
the
answer
answer
po,
po,
that
that
will
will
last
last
forever.
forever.
At
At
ma-apply
ma-apply
nila
nila
is
is
how
how
to do
to
it.
do it.
Hoy,
Hoy,
Landas, ang
landas, ang
pangit
pangit
naman ang
naman ang
profile
profile
pic
pic
mo.
mo.
Nagtatawa
Nagtatawa
ng
ng
parang
parang
ngumungo.
ngumungo.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So,
how to
how
do
to
it?
do it?
Si
Si
perennialism
perennialism
lasts
lasts
forever ang
forever ang
information.
information.
Papasok
Papasok
dito
dito
si
si
how to
how
do
to do
it.
it.
Ano nga
Ano
ulit
nga
si
ulit
how
si
to
how
do
to
it,
do it,
class?
class?
Class.
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 Ano nga
Ano
ulit
nga
si
ulit
how
si
to
how
do
to
it?
do it?
Is it
Is it
lifetime or
lifetime or
not?
not?
Lifetime po.
Lifetime ang
Lifetime ang
information,
information,
lifetime ang
lifetime ang
ituturo
ituturo
ni
ni
teacher.
teacher.
Now,
Now,
do you
do
have
you have
any
any
questions
questions
po
po
kay
kay
perennialism?
perennialism?
May
May
questions
Wala
questions
po,
po
regarding
ma'am.
kay
regarding kay
perennialism?
perennialism?
Wala.
Wala.
Alright,
Alright,
if
if
none,
none,
let's
let's
proceed.
proceed.
So we
So we
have
have
here
here progressivism.
progressivism. It
It
is
is
learning
learning
by
by
doing.
doing.
So, it
So,
means,
it
pasok
means,
dito
pasok
si,
dito si,
sino
sino
papasok dito?
papasok dito?
Learners po.
Learners,
Learners, yes.
KK to
KK to
12.
12.
Di ba
We have
the
the
program
program
sa
sa
KK to
KK to
12?
12.
The
The
teacher
teacher
will
will
just,
just,
anong
anong
merienda?
merienda? Sabi tanong, saglit lang pa. Si daddy nagbili. Oo. Bigyan mo naman si Gary dalawa. Baka gusto niya. Bayaran ko na lang po. Ito po. Thank you po.
Okay.
Okay, so we have here the K to 12 program.
Di ba? Matututo
Matututo ang mga bata through
performance.
performance.
After
After you give
a
a direction, after you give an instruction or some basic information for a certain topic or lesson, of course, they have to perform in order na maintindihan talaga nila kung ano yung natutunan nila sa discussion. And if you can still remember, nagtutugma din natin ito sa 9A's. Saan siya ng A? Ito si progressivism.
Class.
Class.
If
If you can still remember lang po, saan siya part ng ano? Is it acquiring?
Flying,
Is
ma'am.
it applying? Okay, very good. Pasok siya kay applying because it is learning by doing. Mas naiintindihan nila at mas natututo sila kung sila mismo ay nag-execute sa inyong discussion. For instance, perfect example kay progressivism ganito. Class, tomorrow we will be having a parang
Ano to ang tawag sa thumb? Sa thumb, the sweet, sour, and salty. Diba?
Diba?
Bring
Bring
bitter gourd.
bitter
Ano yung
gourd.
bitter
Ano
gourd,
yung
ma'am?
bitter gourd, ma'am?
Ampalaya.
Ampalaya.
Bitter gourd,
Bitter gourd,
ampalaya.
ampalaya.
Bring
Bring
candy.
candy. Bring
Salt,
salt,
or
asin, or
do you
you
bring
bring
some
some
calamansi?
calamansi.
And
And
then,
then,
kinabukasan,
kinabukasan,
so,
so,
sabi ni
sabi ni
teacher,
teacher,
alright,
alright,
sino
sino
dito ang
dito
may
ang may
ampalaya?
ampalaya? Ako po, teacher. Yeah, alright.
So,
So,
ikaw
ikaw muna,
muna, titikim
titikim
Pedro,
Pedro,
next si
next si
Maria,
Maria,
next si
next si
Juan.
Juan.
So,
So, di
tinikman
tinikman
nila
nila
yung,
yung,
ano po, tinikman nila
tinikman
yung
nila yung
ampalaya.
ampalaya.
Anong
Anong
masasabi
masasabi
ninyo,
ninyo,
by
by
teacher?
teacher, o
By
by
doing,
doing,
or
or
by
by parang
parang
tipong
sinubo
sinubo
mo,
mo, pinasubo mo,
pinatikim
pinatikim
mo
mo
sa
sa
kanila,
kanila,
na
na
inalaman
inalaman
nilang
nilang
mapait
mapait
ang
ang
ampalaya.
ampalaya.
At
At
ganun
ganun
pala
pala
ang
ang
pait.
pait.
Kasi kung
Kasi kung
hindi
hindi
mo
mo
yung
yung
pinatikim,
pinatikim,
sinabi
sinabi
mo
mo
lang,
lang,
okay, ang
okay, ang
ampalaya
ampalaya
ay
ay
mapait.
mapait.
So
So
next
next
naman,
naman,
ang
ang
candy
candy
ay
ay
matamis.
matamis.
Paano
Paano
nila
nila
malalaman
malalaman
ang
ang
ampalaya
ampalaya
ay
ay
mapait
mapait
kung
kung
hindi mo
hindi mo
pinaranas
pinaranas
sa
sa
kanila?
kanila?
Without the
Without the
experience.
experience.
And
And
experience is
experience is
very,
very,
very
very
important.
important.
How about
How
the
about the
candy?
candy?
Okay,
Okay,
tikman mo
tikman mo
muna
muna
ito.
ito.
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
How
How
about
about
this? How
this? How
about
about
this?
this?
So,
So
pasok si
pasok si
progressivism
progressivism
doon.
doon.
Another, sa
Another, sa
science
science
project.
project.
Ang
Ang
sinabi sa
sinabi sa
module
module
na
na
regarding
regarding
texture,
texture,
kunyari
kay
ha,
kunyari nga
regarding
regarding
texture.
texture,
Ang
ang
pinaka-perfect
pinaka-perfect
example
example
regarding
regarding
kay
kay
texture
texture
is
is
shrimp.
shrimp.
Pag
Pag
hilaw ang
hilaw ang
shrimp
shrimp
color,
color,
ano
ano
po
po
ang
ang
kulay
kulay
ng
ng
shrimp?
shrimp?
Based
Based
on
on
the
the
experience
experience
or
or
based
based
on
on
your
your
observation,
observation,
what is
what
the
is the
color of
color
the
of the
shrimp
shrimp
when
when
it
it
is
is
not
not
cooked?
cooked?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
may
may
iba
iba
gray,
gray, may iba naman po puti.
Okay.
Okay,
Now,
now
you
you
put
put
the
the
shrimp
shrimp
into
into
a
a
fire.
fire.
Ngayon,
Ngayon,
sinindihan
sinindihan
yung
yung
shrimp.
shrimp.
What have
What
you
have you
observed?
observed?
Naging
Naging
ano,
ano,
ma'am?
ma'am?
Naging pink na
Pink
siya,
na siya,
naging
naging
orange na
orange
siya.
siya.
Very
Very
good.
good.
So,
So,
pina-experience
pina-experience
mo.
mo,
They
they
do it
do
on
it
their
on their
own.
own.
Pasok si
Pasok si
progressivism.
progressivism.
Nagkakaintindihan
Nagkakaintindihan
ba
po ba
tayo
tayo
dito?
dito?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Po, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So,
progressivism pa
progressivism
rin
pa
po,
rin po,
pasok
pasok
pa
pa
rin
rin
din
din
po
po
si,
si, ano po,
personal
personal
life.
life.
Or lives. Okay,
Okay,
personal
personal
life
life
na
na
lang.
lang.
Ay,
Huwag na lang, life na lang.
personal
Personal
lives.
lives.
Alright.
Alright,
So, do
so
you
do
have
you
any
have any
questions
questions
po kay
po kay
progressivism?
progressivism?
None?
None?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay,
Now,
now
let's
let's
talk
talk
about
about
the
the
essentialism.
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 Essentialism
Essentialism
tayo
tayo
ha.
ha.
Ay,
Ay,
existentialism
existentialism
pala.
pala.
Ano nga
Ano nga
ulit
ulit
si
si
existentialism?
existentialism?
Ang
Ang
sabi
sabi
doon?
doon,
Sa
sa
keyword
keyword
niya,
niya,
ay,
ay,
sa
sa
keyword
Having
keyword
niya
niya has,
individual choice po.
okay,
okay,
having
having
individual
individual
choice.
choice.
So,
So,
kagaya
kagaya
din
din
yung
yung
sinabi
sinabi
ko,
ko,
they
they
have
have
the
the
freedom.
freedom.
Okay?
Okay?
They
They
have
have
the
the
freedom
freedom
to
to
choose.
choose okay, mali. Yun.
Individual
Individual
choice.
choice.
So
So
they
they
have
have
the
the
freedom.
freedom.
Okay?
Okay?
They
They
have the
have the
freedom to
freedom to
choose.
choose.
Okay?
Okay?
Apply
Apply
dito si
dito si
democracy.
democracy.
They
They
have
have
freedom
freedom
to
to
choose.
choose.
Ano
Ano
yung
yung
calling nila
calling
sa
nila sa
buhay
buhay
nila?
nila?
Dito
Dito
papasok,
papasok, gusto ba nilang maging doktor, maging nurse, maging teacher,
or
or
maging
maging garbage collector. Okay, dito papasok yung mga gusto nila sa buhay. Ma'am, pwede pala yung garbage collector. Oo, yung anak ko, gusto lang niya mag-garbage collector lang daw siya paglaki. Sabi niya, tinanong kasi siya ng teacher niya, anong gusto mo paglaki, Jacob? Gusto mo maging chef? Ayaw ko mapaso ako. Anong gusto mo? Maging Maging doktor? Ayoko, ma'am. Ay, gusto mo? Soldier? Ay, ayoko, mamamatay ako pag soldier kinuha ko. Ay, gusto mo? Garbage collector. Bakit? Ay, all you have to do is to put the trash on the trash can and then pwede ka na sumakay ulit sa truck. Sabi niya ganun. Yun lang ang ano niya. Yun lang ang reason niya. So, yun ang gusto niya sa buhay. Of course, as a nanay, I will just support him. Ano gusto niya? Gusto niya maging garbage collector? Okay, fine. Buhay mo yan. So, pasok si existentialism. What? Pinasok ko po ang, ano po, pinasok ko po si progressivism dito. Bakit mo? Bakit progressivism? Ganito kasi yung situation. Nagtapo ng basura itong bantay ng bahay ko. Dun sa labas, nakalimutan niyang dalhin pa uwi. Then, ang mga aso ko, kinalat niya yung maraming basura, including diapers na may pupo. Kaya pasintabi sa nagmimerienda dyan na, including pupo. And of course, sabi ko sa kanya, Dong, di ba gusto mo mag-garbage collector? Yes, ma. O ngayon, this is the real task of a garbage collector. Sabi niya, easy. Sabi niya, easy daw eh. Pagdakot niya gano'n at nakuha niya yung kain ng kapatid niya. Galit na galit siya, iyak siya. Ew! Bakit may tayo? That's the real problem. Bakit? Sometimes, hindi lang ang kain ng kapatid mo mahahawakan mo if you're a garbage collector. Ano pa naman? Pwede din niya maging kain ng ibang tao or kain ng ibang aso. So, do you want still the garbage collector? Paglaki mo? Sabi niya, ayaw willing matay. So, willing na daw siya mamatay and that is soldier. So, mag-soldier na lang daw siya. So, pasok doon si progressivism and pasok pa rin po si existentialism. Nagbago yung iisip niya. And if, of course, he has the freedom to choose again. Okay? In-apply ko lang naman yung philosophies of education. Kaya nung na-experience niya po, and na learning by doing, of course, he experienced a certain scenario, of course, nagbago ang kanyang isip. Diba? Sometimes kasi kailangan mo ipadama sa kanila yon. Kasi pag hindi nila yan napadama, hindi yan nila ma-realize at wala silang natutunan nun at all. Okay po ba tayo doon?
Yes po.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Ako kasi yung nanay na mas more on reality. Ayaw ko ng fantasy na nanay. For instance, naglalaro siya sa daan. Tawid-tawid siya dun. Hindi ko siya pinagalitan. Sabi ko, halika dito, Ian. Bakit ma? Tingnan mo sa YouTube anong nangyari sa batang nagtawid ng kalsada na naglalaro. Pinakita ko yung video na nabangga yung bata ng truck. Grabing shock niya. Ano nangyari sa bata? Patay. Sabi niya, hindi na simula nun, hindi na siya naglaro sa daanan. Kasi nga, pinakita ko talaga sa kanya. Ayaw ko explain. Gusto ko yung performance kaga, di ba? Para matuto. Kagaya ng mga elevator, escalator. Marami na ako mga pinakita talaga na niya ganyan. Grabe ka naman, ma'am. Yan yung way ko din na natuto eh. It's of course, natututo tayo pag nakaka-experience tayo. At of course, in order to protect our loved ones, it's either by hook or by crook. Ano yung by hook or by crook? Kung hindi natuto sa pakiusap and then gawin mo sa santong paspasan kung ayaw ng dasalan. Alright po ba tayo doon?
Opo, ma'am.
Okay, but I am telling you, I am not telling you, class, na gawin niyo yan sa mga estudyante. Sa anak lang yun. Siyempre, na-observe ko din yan sa anak ko na ano pala siya, effective. Okay. Next, we have the behaviorism. We have the behaviorism. It is modifying behavior. Behaviorism. Bakit naging collector ito? Okay. Behaviorism. It is modifying the behavior.
Bakit? Nagluloko
Nagluloko
na
ka na
naman
naman
ako
ako
ba?
ba?
Hindi ka
Hindi
na
ka
ako sa akin,
nakakain,
merienda.
merienda?
Okay. I'm so
I'm so
hungry.
hungry.
Recorded
Recorded
to.
to.
Doon ka,
Doon
doon
ka,
ka.
doon ka.
Okay,
Okay,
modifying the
modifying the
behavior.
behavior.
So of
So of
course,
course,
we
we
have
have
this
this
kind
kind
of
of
mga
mga
bata
bata
na
na
we
we
have
have
to
to
culture or
culture or
turuan
turuan
sila
sila
on what
on
is
what is
right
right
and
and
wrong.
wrong.
So
So
sometimes
sometimes
class, pag
class,
ako
pag
po
ako
ang
po ang
nagtututor,
nagtututor,
whether
whether
it's
if
your
it's your
anak
anak
or
or
whether
whether if
it's my
it's my
anak or
anak or
ibang
ibang
anak,
anak,
bago ko
bago
yan
ko yan
turuan ng
turuan ng
basic or
basic
the
or the
essentialism,
essentialism,
I
I
have
have
first to
first
do
to
the
do the
behaviorism, the
behaviorism, the
modifying the
modifying the
behavior.
behavior.
Kinakausap ko
Kinakausap ko
muna yan
muna
siya
yan siya
one-on-one.
one-on-one.
Kagaya
Kagaya
nung
nung
isang
isang
pinaka-perfect
pinaka-perfect
example
example
is
is
yung
yung
anak ng
anak ng
foreigner
foreigner
pero
pero
hindi
hindi
siya,
siya,
yung
yung
bata
bata
hindi
hindi
foreigner,
foreigner,
anak siya
anak
ng
siya ng
nanay
nanay
niya
niya
sa first
first
husband.
husband.
And then
And
of
then of
course,
course,
tinanong ko
tinanong
yung
ko yung
bata,
bata,
how do
how
you
do you
respond
respond
sa
sa
daddy mo
daddy mo
ngayon?
ngayon?
Sabi niya,
Sabi
pag
niya,
may
pag may
tinatanong po,
tinatanong po,
nag-yes
nag-yes
lang po,
lang,
ay
ay
nag-iya
nag-aya
lang po
lang po
ako.
ako.
Tapos nung
Tapos
time
nung
na
time
yun,
na yun,
sakto,
sakto,
kinausap siya
kinausap
ng
siya ng
tatay
tatay
niya,
niya,
nung
nung
foreigner
foreigner
niyang
niyang
tatay,
tatay,
regarding
regarding
into
into
something. And
something.
then
And then
sabi niya,
sabi niya,
yeah,
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 ganun
ganun-ganun
siya.
siya.
By
By
that,
that,
of
of
course,
course,
na-observe ko
na-observe
yung
ko yung
attitude ng
attitude ng
bata.
bata.
Sabi
Sabi
ko,
ko,
okay, the
okay, the
first thing
first
we
thing
had we
we
need to
need to
do
do
is to
is to
shape
shape
you by
you
your
by your
attitude.
attitude.
First thing
First
and
thing and
foremost, you
foremost,
are
you
not
are not
allowed to
allowed
say
to say
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
and
and
sa
sa
mga
mga
elder
elder
mo,
mo,
kahit
kahit
sabihin
sabihin
natin,
natin, eh,
foreigner
foreigner
man
man
yan,
yan.
hindi
Hindi
po.
po.
You are
You
not
are not
allowed pa
allowed
rin
pa
po
rin po
kasi
kasi
sometimes
sometimes
the
the
opo and
opo and
po
po
sa
sa
foreigner is
foreigner
the
is the
simple
simple
yes
yes
or a
or a
simple
simple
yes,
yes,
yes.
yes.
If you
If
want
you
to
want to
answer
answer
yes,
yes,
then say
then say
it
it
yes.
yes.
If you
If you
want to
want to
answer
answer
no,
no,
you
you
don't
don't
have to
have
say
to say
no.
no.
It's
It's
not
not
like
like
that.
that.
You
You
have to
have to
state it
state it
very
very
clear,
clear,
no.
no.
Oh,
Oh,
sabi mo
sabi mo
wala.
wala.
Okay?
Okay?
Gets po?
Gets po?
So,
So,
doon ko
doon ko
muna
muna
ino-observe
ino-observe
yung
yung
attitude ng
attitude ng
bata. Of
Of
course,
course,
ina-apply ko
ina-apply ko
muna
muna
si
si
behaviorism.
behaviorism.
It is
It
to
is to
modify
modify
the
the
behavior or
behavior or
modifying the
modifying the
behavior.
behavior.
You have
You
to
have to
teach them
teach
what
them
is
what
right
is
and what
and
is
what is
wrong.
wrong.
Okay po
Okay
ba
po ba
tayo
tayo
doon?
doon?
Yes, ma'am.
That is
That is
why
why
very,
very,
very
very
important
important
dito
dito
ang
ang
ano
ano
ba?
ba?
Classroom
Class
management.
management.
The
The
rules and
rules and
regulations.
regulations.
Imposing the
Imposing the
rules and
rules and
regulations. But
regulations.
did
But
you
did
know,
you know,
class,
class,
that
that
when you
when you
impose the
impose the
rules and
rules and
regulations,
regulations,
sabi
sabi
ko,
ko,
di
di
ba,
ba,
isali
isali
ang
ang
bata.
bata.
You have
You
to
have to
ask
ask
them
them
kung
kung
ano ang
ano ang
gusto
gusto
nilang
nilang
idadagdag.
idadagdag.
Okay po
Okay
ba
po
tayo
tayo
doon?
doon?
Yes, ma'am.
Lumalabas po
Lumalabas
yan
po
sa
yan
let
sa
ha?
let ha?
Lalabas po
Lalabas
yan
po
sa
yan
let.
sa let.
Promise
Promise
po.
po.
Okay.
Okay.
Next.
Next.
Ano
Ano
pong
pong
next?
next?
May
May
question po
question
kay
po kay
behaviorism.
behaviorism.
Yan, ma'am.
Wala na?
Wala na?
Okay.
Okay.
Next.
Next.
Ay,
Ay,
sorry,
sorry,
nag-pragmatism
nag-pragmatism
tayo.
tayo.
Next
Next
is the
is the
constructivism.
constructivism.
So
So
if
if
you
you
can
can
still
still
remember,
remember,
constructivism,
constructivism,
diba,
diba,
is
is
or
or
constructionism or
constructionism or
constructivism
constructivism
whatsoever.
whatsoever.
It
It
is the
is the
combination of
combination of
pragmatism
pragmatism
and
and
essentialism.
essentialism.
Pero ang
Pero ang
pagkakaiba nila,
pagkakaiba nila,
si
si
constructivism,
constructivism,
it is
it
the
is
own
the own
understanding.
understanding.
Okay,
Okay? Constructivism.
Tama ba?
Tama ba? Sorry.
Constructivism.
Constructivism.
Ano po
Ano po
yung
yung
ano
ano
niya?
niya?
Constructing
Constructing
meaning.
meaning.
So,
So,
if
if
she
she or he can
can
construct
construct
a
a meaning,
meaning,
then
then
he
he
or
or
she
she
understand
understand
the
the
lesson.
lesson.
Okay?
Okay? Okay po ba tayo doon?
Ganun
Ganito lang
siya.
kasimple.
Pero
Pero
situational
situational
pa
pa
naman.
naman ito.
Okay.
Okay.
It
It
is
is
the
the
own
own
understanding.
understanding. Understanding and of course,
papasok
papasok
pa
pa
rin
rin
dito
dito
si
si
critical
critical thinking.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay po
Okay
ba
po ba
tayo
tayo
dito?
dito?
While
While
reconstructivism,
reconstructivism,
re
re
ha,
ha,
may
may
re na
re
po
na po
ha.
ha.
Lagyan
Lagyan
natin yung
natin
re.
re.
Malakihan
Malakihan
natin si
natin si
re.
re
Para
para
maklaro.
maklaro.
While si
While si
reconstructivism,
reconstructivism,
it
it
is to
is to
solve,
solve,
to
to
understand
understand
reconstructivism.
reconstructivism.
Understand
Understand
the
the
situation, the
situation, the
real
real
situation,
situation,
and
and
ano po?
ano,
And
and
solve
solve
or
or
solving
solving
real
real
problems.
problems.
Totoong
Totoong
problema yung
problema yung
regarding sa
regarding sa
buhay.
buhay.
Okay?
Okay?
Kasama na
Kasama
po
na po
dito
dito
yung
yung
mga
mga
services
services
kagaya ng
kagaya ng
Army,
Army,
kagaya ng
kagaya ng
CAT,
CAT, kagaya din ng,
anong
ang
tawag nito?
tawag nito?
CWPS,
CWPS,
kasama po
sama po
kay
kay
reconstructivism.
reconstructivism.
Nagkakaintindihan
Nagkakaintindihan
because of
because
the
of the
solving
solving
real
real
problem,
problem,
real
real
life
life
situation ng
situation
mga
ng mga
problema.
problema.
I
I
clear?
clear?
Lagay
Yes.
Lagay
natin
natin
yung
yung
life
Yes,
life
ma'am.
situation.
situation.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So,
solving a
solving a
real
real
problem
problem
of the
of the
real
real
life
life
situation.
situation.
Did you
Did you
understand,
understand,
class?
class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sigurado,
Sigurado,
sure na
sure na
yan.
yan.
Sure na
Sure
yan
na yan
naiintindihan
naiintindihan
ninyo.
ninyo.
Sure?
Sure?
Okay.
Okay.
If
If
Sure,
naiintindihan
ma'am.
naiintindihan
nyo,
nyo,
now,
now,
let's see
let's see
first.
first.
I have here
I
an
have
exact,
here
ay,
an
sorry.
exact, ay, sorry.
Meron answer
Meron
bigla.
answer bigla.
Okay.
Okay.
I
I
have
have
here
here
a
a
question.
question.
Alright,
Alright,
wait
wait
lang.
lang.
Naiihi
Naiihi
ako.
ako.
Oh,
Oh,
wait.
wait.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Butik na
Mutik na
pumutok yung
pumutok yung
pantog ko.
pantog ko.
Okay.
Okay.
The
The
first
first
question
question
is,
is,
the
the
Department of
Department of
Education or
Education
the
or the
DepEd
DepEd
gives
gives
greater
greater
emphasis on
emphasis
the
on the
development of
development of
basic
basic
skills.
skills.
What
What
is the
is the
philosophical
philosophical
basis for
basis for
this?
this?
Ano po?
Ano po?
A.
A.
Essentialism.
Essentialism.
B.
B.
Existentialism.
Existentialism.
C.
C.
Perennialism.
Perennialism.
And
And
D.
D.
Pragmatism.
Pragmatism.
One
A
Who
po.
wants
last.
to
Essentialism.
answer?
Essentialism.
Alcantara,
Alcantara,
go,
Po.
go.
Le- Letter A po, ma'am. Essentialism.
Okay,
Okay,
letter A.
letter A.
Bakit po?
Bakit po?
Sino po
Sino po
makapag-defend?
makapag-defend?
Bakit A
Bakit
po
A
ang
po ang
answer?
answer?
Vocabulary po, ma'am.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Makabelar.
Makabelar.
Kasi po, ma'am, gumamit po siya ng basic skills. Kaya pumasok
Very
po
Very
doon
good.
yung essentials.
Very
Very
good.
good.
Because
Because
of the
of the
development
development
of the
of the
basic
basic
skills.
skills.
So,
So,
hanapin nyo
hanapin
lang
nyo lang
yung
yung
keyword,
keyword,
no?
no?
Ito
Ito
galing ito
galing
sa
ito sa
let,
let,
ha?
ha?
Let,
Let,
ito
ito
mga
mga
questions.
questions.
Okay, hindi
Okay,
ko
hindi
to
ko to
gawa-gawa ng
gawa-gawa ng
questions. Let po ito na questions. Because
because
of the
of the
basic
basic
skills.
skills.
And
And
what are
what
the
are the
three
three
R's
R's
regarding kay
regarding kay
basic skills?
skills?
What are those again?
Reading, writing, arithmetic po.
Very good. The reading, the writing, and the arithmetic. And the answer is correct. Answer is letter A, essentialism. Now
Now
let's
let's
move
move
on.
on.
Second
Second
question.
question.
Teacher
Teacher
J,
J,
la,
nag-prom
nag-prom siya.
siya.
On
On
siya.
siya.
Anyari.
Anyari?
Naunsa.
Naunsa.
Naggalaw siya sa
Naggalaw siya sa
inyong
inyong
class?
class?
Connected man
Connected
siya.
man siya.
Ha?
Ha?
Anyari.
Anyari?
Ayun,
Ayun,
okay na.
okay na.
Sige.
Sige.
Correct po ang answer
Answer
natin.
natin,
Letter A.
letter A.
Essentialism.
Now let's go to
The
the
second
second question.
question.
Okay.
Okay. Teacher
Teacher
J's
J's
views his
views his
student
student
as
as
unique,
unique,
free,
free,
choosing, and
choosing, and
responsible
responsible
individuals.
individuals.
All
All
classroom
classroom
activities
activities
revolve around
revolve
the said
around the said
premise.
premise.
What
What
theory
theory
underlies
underlies
this?
this?
A.
A.
Essentialism.
Essentialism.
B.
B.
Extensionism.
Extensionism.
C.
C.
Progressivism.
Progressivism.
And letter
And letter
D.
D.
Realism.
Realism.
Letter B po.
Sino ang
Letter
letter
B
B?
po.
Taas ang
Letter B,
paa.
ha?
Sinong
Sinong
letter
letter
C?
C?
Taas
Taas
ang
ang
isang
isang
paa.
paa.
Wala?
Wala?
The
The
correct
correct
answer is
answer is
letter
letter
B.
B,
Extensionism.
extensionism.
Bakit po?
Bakit po?
Bakit po
Bakit po
letter B,
letter B,
ma'am?
ma'am?
Bakit
Bakit
letter B?
letter B?
Kasi po,
It's be
ma'am, yung free choosing po
always
yung
remember
keyword.
the keyword is there. The
The
free,
free,
choosing,
choosing, and
and
unique.
unique.
Okay,
Okay,
that
that
is
is
why
why
ang
ang
answer
answer
is
is
extensialism.
extensialism.
Very
Very
good.
good.
Galing-galing.
Galing.
Okay, next. Ganito yung exam
Okay,
natin sa
exam
finals, guys, ha? Situational.
situational.
Alright.
Alright.
We have
We have
here
here
the
the
next.
next.
Okay?
Okay,
Seven
seven
lang
lang
yung
yung
nilagay
nilagay
ko
ko
dyan.
dyan.
Yan
Yan
siya.
siya.
Virtue
Virtue
as
as
one
one
component
component
in
in
the
the
teaching
teaching
of
of
Rizal.
Rizal,
As a
as a
course
course
focuses
focuses
on the
on the
teaching
teaching
of
of
good
good
and
and
beauty,
beauty,
consistent
consistent
with
with
the
the
good and
good and
beauty in
beauty in
God.
God.
What
What
philosophy
philosophy
supports
supports
this?
this?
A.
A.
Existentialism.
Existentialism.
B.
B.
Idealism.
Idealism.
C.
C.
Progressivism.
Progressivism.
And D.
And D.
Social
Social
reconstructionism.
reconstructionism.
Sabi ni
Sabi
Dr.
ni
Test,
Dr.
B,
B.
ma'am.
sige,
Sige,
B.
B.
Tingnan natin.
Then,
The
the
answer is
answer is
letter
letter
Arithmetic
B.
B.
po.
Letter B. Letter B.
If
If
you
you if you
observe, we
observe, we
have the
have the
virtue
virtue
plus
plus
good
good
and
and
beauty in
beauty in
God.
God.
Diba?
Diba
Sabi ko
sabi ko
regarding
regarding
religious and
religious and
beliefs,
beliefs,
we
we
have
have
idealism.
idealism.
Nakukuha?
Nakukuha?
Yes,
That
That
is
ma'am.
is
why
why
ang
ang
answer
answer
ay
ay is
Yes,
letter
ma'am.
B. Alright,
Alright,
for
for
the
the
last
last
question.
question.
Last
Last
question.
question.
Scouting
Scouting
and
and
Citizens
Citizens
Army
Army
Training
Training
or the
or the
CAT
CAT
give
give
training in
training in
character
character
building,
building,
citizenship
citizenship
training,
training,
etc.
etc.,
Which
which
leads to
leads
the
to the
creation of
creation
the
of the
new
new
social
social
order
order
and a
and
new
a new
society
society
eventually.
eventually.
What
What
philosophy
philosophy
supports
supports
this?
this?
Social
D
reconstruction.
po.
D.
Letter D.
Very good.
Very
The
good. The
answer
answer
is
Social
is
social
reconstruction.
social
reconstructivism.
reconstructionism.
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 Pwede din
Pwede
po
din
siyang
po siyang
maging
maging
social,
social,
pwede
pwede
social
social
reconstructionism,
reconstructionism,
pwede din
pwede
po
din
siyang
po siyang
maging
maging
reconstructionism.
reconstructionism. Okay, very good po. That is letter D. Why? Why, ma'am? Di ba sabi ko, sorry, di ba sabi ko, class, pag merong mga CAT, pag merong solving real problems, etc., especially na may kinalaman sa society and every individual, ang sagot nun is reconstructionism. Okay po pa tayo doon.
Yes po.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We have the next one na may last pa pala. Teacher Mara, a Christian living teacher, put so much significance on values development and discipline. What could be her educational philosophy? We have
A po.
idealism.
Idealism.
A. Perfect to select. We have letter A, idealism. Very good. Palakpakan ninyo lang mga sarili ninyo. Ayan niya. Yay! Galing-galing! Di ba? So, ganun lang kadali. So, sinabi ko, simplihan ko lang kasi if I go deeper to a certain knowledge regarding on philosophy of education, baka ma-confuse kayo. So, the basic or the simplest meaning and explanation regarding on that is ganito lang kasimple. Yun yung in-explain ko sa inyo kanina. Okay, always remember class, you have to read the situation carefully. Balik-balikan ninyo. Huwag din yung sa isang question, 30 minutes, ha? Bagsak kayo kagad nun sa let exam. Naunsa. Okay. So, of course, you have to keep studying regarding the Prof Ed. And on our finals, situational po ang ating finals. Pasok pa rin po si true or false, yes or no. And pasok po if the statement is correct, letter numbers, one statement is correct, and number two statement is not correct. Pasok pa rin po yun. So, mas more on, ma'am, nag-let na ba kami? Yes po. Sinasanay ko na po kayo mag-let exam. Para hindi na kayo ma-pressure pagdating sa let. Sabihin nyo na lang sa let na professor, mani-mani. Oh, wow. Mani-mani pagdating 74.6. Pagdating sa result, 74.6. Yan, confident ka ha? Hindi, anyway guys, sinasanay ko kayo na ma-pressure kasi everything around you or involves you is always, there is always a pressure. Para hindi na kayo magulat at manibago. Dito pa lang sa exam, sasanayin ko na kayo. Okay po ba tayo doon?
Yes po, ma'am.
So, don't worry po sa ating, sa ating lesson plan na audio. I-video ko na lang din po yun para mapanood nyo pa rin po yun anytime, anywhere. At kahit graduate kayo, ulitin yung pong video na yan, makakatulong pa rin po yun sa inyo. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have any questions before po kayo bibitawan? Yes po, Bautista?
Ma'am, yung lesson planning po,
Ano daw? Chat mo.
lesson plan po, ma'am,
Chat mo na lang.
about to sa
Regarding lesson plan po, sabi ko, nire-record ko na lang po from the very beginning up until pinaka-dulong na lesson plan. And your lesson plan po na project, that would be December 29 po ang in-deadline. Tagal-tagal pa po, December 29 pa po. Pwede po kayo habang nakain ng buko salad sa Pasko, gawa kayo ng lesson plan sa akin. Opo. Pwede po yung gano'n na sistema. Habang kumakain kayo ng mango float, na pagkasarap-sarap, naglalaway tuloy ako. Oh, damay-damay na to. Diba? Gumagawa kayo ng lesson plan. Or habang kumakain kayo ng spaghetti na maraming cheese, gumagawa kayo ng lesson plan. Merry Christmas everyone! Tapos gagawa kayo ng lesson plan. Pwede po yun. Huwag lang po magsimba na gumagawa ng lesson plan, patay tayo ni Jesus Christ yan. Pupuntahan talaga ako sa bahay. Siyente mo dyan, nagasimba dyan, nas gagawa lesson plan. Ano na, unsa? Pwede po habang kumakain ng buko, gagawa ng lesson plan. Huwag lang yung habang gagayat kayo ng habang gaprito kayo ng lumpia. Kumakain na rin kayo ng lumpia, wala na kayong noche buena niyan. na naunsa ka. Tikim lang ka ng tikim na lang lumpia daw. Kaya gigigil ako ng lumpia na yan. Oh, pwede kayong gumagawa ng lesson plan. So, if there's a will, there's a way pa rin po. Okay? Okay po ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Okay. So, do you have any questions po
Yes,
before I
ma'am.
let you go? Alright, since this will be our last discussion and last na po rin natin to na Google Meet kasi next week exam na, I would just like to take the opportunity and thank you so much for being part of my journey as a teacher. So of course, you are still my inspiration po to do better in every day in my life, not only in teaching but also in applying in every way of me. Okay, so you are now part of my journey. Thank you so much for making my this semester so colorful. Grabe ka colorful, especially kahapon. Gigigil ako. Pero hindi ako pwede magmura. Of course, kaya ako nag-walk out para hindi na ako makapagmura. Kasi bawal yarn. Okay. So, thank you so much for making it so much colorful. Hindi lang po black and white. May blue, may red, may green. Oh. So, thank you so much. So, I hope may mga baon-baon kayo sa akin natutunan na magiging baon ninyo all throughout your journey in education. Thank you so much,
and have a great day ahead.
much,
Advance Merry
class, and have
Christmas
a
and
great
Happy
day
New Year
ahead.
po
Advance Merry
as we
Christmas and
approach
Happy New Year po
2022.
as we
Bye-bye.
approach 2022.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
ma'am. Thank you po.
Bye, ma'am.
Iyak.
Okay, ma'am.
Iyak.
Unsa
Doon
mo
sa
sabi
mo,
mo
Bye.
makaigot
sa
ko sa
message ko?
message ko.
Wala
Wala
mag-iyak.
mag-iyak.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye po, ma'am.